What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the debate room. Today we're just doing a free agency, little recap of what is it? Well, technically it's like day two now, but yeah, doing a little free agency recap. I got all the guys here: Latif, Q, and Max. Y'all say what's up?
What's up? What's up?
What up, y'all?
A lot of key moves. A lot of key moves happened today. Paul George signs with the Sixers for hold on, I just had it pulled up. For $212 million for over 4 years. So since Latif, you're right here, I'm gonna just start with you. Just tell me what that signing means and just how you feel about it.
You talking about Paul George, right?
Yeah.
From the aspect that they got Paul George basically without having to trade any of their assets, it wasn't a signing trade. They didn't give up anything. They just used the money they had in their cap space to sign him. It was a great move, and also I think Paul George is going to fit nicely on the Sixers. He's one of the best all-ball players in the entire NBA, especially from a catch and shoot standpoint. And over the last few seasons, he's worked better, involving himself in actions and cutting off the ball. He's one of the best all ball players in the league, and now he can be a true third option on the team. Like he doesn't have to be worried about being a second option on the team for most of the time. He can take a back seat. He was talking about this on his podcast, but actually just like focus on doing some of the little things, defending at a higher level. He's always been a great defender, but you can lock in on that. He can lock in on just doing the little stuff that can help them winning for this team, especially they need it in the playoffs. And they're gonna need him to be big defensively when they go up against the Knicks or when they go up against the Celtics, especially guard knows wings on the perimeter. So um, from that aspect, I think it was a good deal. I think it was the Sixers had to do it. It was either that or just build like a really competent roster around Maxi and the B, which would kind of been hard considering this free agent class was a little bit weaker than normal. But the only thing I have concerns with is Joel Embiid's health in the playoffs. That's always going to be number one priority, and his playoff play in general, because their ceiling is how healthy Joel could be is in the playoffs and how he's going to play. Also, Paul George has a history of injuries. He also has a history of not showing up in the playoffs a lot of times. So, am I like moved by it? A little bit. Like they're not gonna win a championship or anything, but I think they have a chance to get over that hump and finally make the ECF. I'll probably still pick Boston over them confidently for sure. Um, but when you have a 30-year-old MVP, you have to do what's best to build around him, and that involves taking risks like this because at the end of his contract, I think Paul George is gonna be about like 38, making like $50 million a year. So that could age really badly, but they had this little window of trying to compete uh, for a championship in the next 3 years or so.
All right. I'll just go. I'll make it quick. I didn't even know Embiid was 30. Damn, time moves by
Yeah,
fast. But now this Paul George signing really just doesn't move me. Just like the idea of Paul George right now, just as the player that he is right now, just doesn't move me. Him being a third option, I guess, is better for him because he just doesn't. He's just not that second option type of guy. But now he goes from one injury riddled star to another. Also, we know Embiid to be a playoff dropper. I feel like this playoffs he wasn't that bad, but then again, like he got hurt. So I don't know. It's not really. It's nothing that excites me. If they can stay healthy, then I believe that they'll be pretty decent. But it's nothing that like when I saw that Paul George. Well, since it was early in the morning, it was like a surprise because like he moved like what like two a.m. or something. So it was kind of a surprise, like just waking up to it. But I don't know the name of Paul George. It doesn't move me anymore. But they're in the East. It's not as tough as the West, I would say. So I think they can still make it to like second round. Honestly, they could probably. I don't know. Yeah, this still like this feels like a second round exit team still to me personally. So Yeah, I
They
don't
can
see
match.
it.
They can match it. They can make
They're
ACL.
not better than the Knicks. They're not better than the Knicks. They're not better than the Celtics still.
They're going into the Knicks series with 3 of the 4 best players in the series comfortably.
The Knicks? You're
They're
talking about
going into the Knicks series with 3 of the 4 best players comfortably. Comfortably.
Okay, so who are you saying is the best player on the Knicks? Brunson?
What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying. So are you saying like Embiid for Brunson and then like
It
and
goes
then just
Embiid. It's a gap. Brunson.
right?
Then it's Paul George, Maxey, and whoever else is left on the Knicks.
McHale, OG.
There's a gap, and then whoever else is left on the Knicks. Yeah, they lost, but they lost this series. They lost that series in 6 by like probably less than 20 points total. Like these 2 of those games came down to missed calls, and Joel Embiid was pretty much killing them for 3.5 quarters. They lost all Joel Embiid minutes. You know who fixes those Joel Embiid minutes? Have somebody like Paul George to stay on the court while he's sitting down. At most, they stay positive. They stay like 0, maybe +1, whatever it is. That's all they needed. They needed one more person to hold it down. Instead of $40 million of Tobias Harris, you get $50 million of Paul George. I'm taking that. No matter what you say about playoff drop or whatever, he could playoff drop and still be better than Tobias Harris. So I not comfortably, but I'm taking the Sixers over the Knicks.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but it's just it relies on health. It relies on playoff performance. Obviously, the Knicks just got way better. I like the construction of their roster. I think they're probably gonna gel a little bit more. But hey, I don't know. I can't.
It's
predict
more.
it.
It's about matchups for me. It's about matchups for me in that series. I think the Knicks match up extremely well with the Sixers. They can throw a Mikal Bridges on Tyrese Maxey. They can throw an OG
He's guarding
Anunoby.
Embiid, though.
We talking about
Can I get there?
injuries.
Can I get there?
OG ain't
Can I
even
get there?
played for.
Can I get there? They could throw Mikal on Tyrese Maxey. They could throw OG on Paul George. Obviously, Embiid's going to eat whoever, regardless of who. But Mitch Robinson did a damn good job on him in that first round of the series before he got injured. He actually played very, very good defense on OG. On Joel Embiid. He obviously has to stay healthy. But for me in that matchup, it would be a matchup thing. With Tyrese Maxey, it depends on that starting lineup. Who you going to throw him on? Now, he was competing a lot in that first round, especially on defense. He was competing. Probably throw him on Mikal, or I don't know. But I don't even know what the Sixers starting lineup looks like right now. They got Maxey right now at the point, unless they sign somebody else. At the 2 is
Buddy's a free agent. They got Oubre,
yeah.
they got PG, they got Eric.
I know.
They have one starter not signed.
Yeah.
It's either their true guard or their power forward. One of those players is not there yet. But I mean, obviously they're going to get a player. It doesn't really matter who that player is.
It depends on what type of player he is. Can he defend? Can he shoot? Like, we don't know exactly who they're going to slide in there right now. So that matters in a potential matchup against the Knicks. For me, it's just a matchup thing. Why I would take the Knicks over them, because this was a 7-game series, and we're operating now with Julius Randle on the team as well. So I think with Julius Randle there, that creates a whole other matchup problem for the Sixers, because I don't know who they're putting on him. If they, I guess Paul George, or I don't know. I mean, they're gonna have to put Kelly Oubre on Jalen Brunson, who Kelly Oubre did a good job on him in the beginning of that series, but Jalen Brunson's going to get off. I would think Julius Randle, he's not a great playoff performer, but having that attention off of Jalen Brunson will just have him play even better. So for me, it's just a matchup thing. I think they match up better with the Sixers than the Sixers match up with them. So that's how I pick the Knicks in that series. I don't think it's like a clearing or nothing like that, but for me, it's not because of the three. They had the three of the 4 best players in the series, sure. But matchup wise, I'm leaning the Knicks in that series for sure. I don't know.
You go. I said my piece already. I ain't really going into too many hypotheticals. I'm just going over what we know right now.
The biggest issue with this is injuries, obviously. PG and Joel Embiid. PG has been one of the most, I feel like, injured superstars the past couple of years. Joel Embiid has his fair share of injuries as well. When they are on the court, though, obviously they're very crucial to their team's success. Joel Embiid, sometimes more than PG, is more consistently playing at the top level. If this team stays healthy, though, I think they're definitely competing for a number 2 seed. I just don't see them beating Boston. I think they're in the mix with New York, with a healthy Milwaukee, if they can add a couple more pieces. It's just I don't see anyone beating Boston right now. I think I don't know which team gives Boston a better chance. It's all about matchups. And I think you have the wing defender matchup of with New York. You have the star powers, I think, in Philly. Obviously, Joel Embiid's the best player out of both teams, like you just said. So throwing him at Boston. But I just think Boston as a whole right now, with all the re-signings too, they're the best team in the East right now. They're the team to beat. They haven't really lost many pieces, and I don't think they will. And with what's left right now, there's not really much ground for many other teams to make up to get to Boston's level. I think this helps if all three players are playing at their A game. Obviously, you have three superstars with PG, with Tyrese, and with Joel Embiid. I just don't know if we're going to see that on a consistent enough basis to make a run to the finals. Or they have a chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't think they're a finals. They're going to make the finals. I don't think they're going to beat Boston. But what about
They would
fight?
have to. Boston would probably have to be missing KP for that series.
The biggest thing is you're going to have Joel and PG both at 100%.
Yeah.
And like that's just again like you can't.
They will have to.
You can't prey on injuries, but like those two like players just never seem to get lucky with injuries. So, I don't know. It's you get the jokes about playoff P and Joel Embiid choking. I'm not worried about that right now. I get it. If they get in a playoff series against some of these other teams, though, I think they could definitely win. Injury is just the biggest part of this whole thing. So, yeah.
I mean, I think you got to be worried about the playoff performance, especially for Paul George. We've seen him actually be healthy and not perform up. Like in 2020, he was completely healthy. In 2020, last year, he was completely healthy when Kawhi was out. So it's more so about him taking a lesser role and being able to do other things, and also just being that third option on offense. But we'll see how that works for him because he can't operate off ball. But when he gets in the rhythm, he also gets going pretty well. Like in the Dallas series, when he was in rhythm for those couple games, he was like going pretty well, especially at the end of games. So I also think this could help, late game for the Sixers. Joel Embiid struggled really, really badly in that next series, late game, especially because they couldn't sustain minutes without him, and he was tiring out, and he was also injured. So they have someone like Paul George to come in and try to be a sort of like a closer when Joel Embiid is struggling or something like that, which he's not the best at that either. But having two of those guys, and even Tyrese Maxey, who steps up in big moments too, can help them. But it's obviously just Boston right there, and that's in their way. And I think they will have to have some injury luck. Like they will have to be healthy, and it'd be the opposite for Boston.
And also, everyone playing on their A game at the same time. You know what I mean? I think it's just a combo of stuff. Like there's just too many things because even then, Boston's bench is deeper than Philly's is. You know what I mean? Like there's just too many things going for Boston right now that I don't think Philly can keep up with.
Yeah, Boston. Peyton Pritchard.
Philly just lost Anthony Melton. Is Paul Reed still free agent right now?
No.
Paul Reed signed.
He's signed. They got Drummond, which is just good for backup depth.
It's a really good signing.
I
think Eric Gordon was a really good signing too.
Depends on minutes. If you throw him in at the starting shooting guard, I don't like it. But
no, they're not going to do that.
Next up, Jaden.
All right. Another big news. Klay joins the Mavericks. 3 years, $50 million? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I guess you can officially say like the original big three in the Warriors. Like I don't want to say the dynasty is over because I feel like that's been over. But yeah, that's gone. Klay joins the new team. He joins the Mavericks. I'll start. This doesn't really move me. Again, like it is what it is. I mean, Klay, I guess he's still like an elite shooter. What did he shoot, like 39% this year?
Yeah, 38, 39. He shot 39.
Yeah.
Didn't he ramp it up every year though?
Something like that. And then it got bad again. But yeah, it just doesn't really move me, and I think it's just in the sense that you have teams like the Celtics, I guess. Like I don't know, just it just doesn't move me. I think on the defensive front, on the perimeter, I think they've got a little bit worse. I like Najee. Um, he's a good he's good on defense, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the starting lineup will be. Probably what Kyrie, Klay, Luca,
PJ Lively.
Lively. Yeah, I mean, defensively, it just doesn't move me. We know Klay isn't the two-way that he once was. Hopefully, his shot can turn back on. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't move me. I feel like on the defensive front, it just got a little worse.
Q, you
You
want to
said
go?
who
Or you?
shot? Who shot turned back on?
Clay's.
What would you say is the main reason why Dallas lost to the Celtics?
Scoring.
They just weren't good enough, honestly.
What weren't they good at?
Shoot.
Defending.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Defending is a lie. That's
It's
a straight
not.
up
I
lie.
mean,
No. Defending is a straight up lie.
Luca literally got attacked. Like
That's not the reason why they lost.
they just weren't. The Celtics were just a better team.
Don't say that. The Boston literally had their worst offensive stretch of all season by a good margin. They were defending just fine. You know what changes that series? If players don't shoot 20% on catch and shoot threes. I'm pretty sure Klay is going to shoot way better than 20% on catch and shoot threes. That's the real issue. Nobody was hitting shots. If anything, if one thing Klay could do, if he's on, is hit shots. That's all they needed. That's all they brought in. That's the main reason why they lost. And don't defending is just like the overblown, like most overblown lie, like totally like that's it. Game 3 and all, like they still played great defense the whole series. That's not the reason why they lost. They got the perfect fit for the thing that they were missing the whole series.
I mean, that's fine. It's just they didn't stack up. I mean, I guess you could pinpoint and say that shooting was the number one problem, but it was just a whole bunch of problems. The Celtics are just a better team. I think if you add Klay right now, in that Celtics series, I think the Celtics still win in 5. Like I don't think it changes. I don't think it changes much. Honestly.
Can I hop in?
Yep.
First of all, I think I don't agree with Jaden at all. I think Dallas being a Western Conference team, if you got to worry about Boston in the finals, you got to worry about Boston in the finals. But again, injuries or other stuff can happen on that East bracket. You just got to worry about getting to the finals. And I honestly think that this move helps that a lot. Getting Najee Marshall, getting Klay Thompson. Kyrie didn't shoot well in the finals. If you can have Klay Thompson shoot that 38, 39%, if you can get game 6 Klay for 3 of those games, it's huge. They just made the finals. Every other team's not getting much better. I don't know if other teams are going to make trades right now. OKC is ramping up a little bit. Minnesota is still who they are, but Denver lost pieces. LA didn't get much better. The Clippers didn't get better. I think Dallas kind of holds true to being one of the top contenders in the West with some of Minnesota with OKC, in my opinion. So I think this.
Did he
move,
not? Huh? Go ahead. But I'm saying like, did Jaden say they weren't like contenders, or he said they don't move them?
It didn't move me. I think losing Derrick Jones Jr. is kind of significant if they didn't do anything about it. I don't think
they got Najee Marshall.
Yeah, is that a 1-for-1 swap?
They pretty much the same defender.
I was looking at Najee Marshall's numbers because sorry, I don't watch the Pels. He shot 5 from 3 on low attempts. I guess he'll get more attempts out in Dallas. But I think adding Klay as an experienced scorer, as a guy who's won championships before, who could still shoot 40% from 3, like with PG, he's in a limited role, right? He's not getting everything. So I think it'll take a little bit for him to adjust to this role because he won't be dribbling with the ball. It'll be a lot of catch and shoot, right? And he got a little more freedom with the Warriors, even though he was going off screens and stuff. A lot of it's just being ready and waiting for Luka to pass on the ball. So I think this move actually does keep me with them up there as a contender in the West. I think that they might be the top contender for me still. They might be. I know people have OKC still. I might have Dallas as odds-on favorites. Depending on what else happens, I think Dallas and OKC are still my top 2 though.
Why would somebody have OKC as a more of a contender over Dallas? Like, what would be the argument for that?
I'm just saying what I've seen in the media, what I've seen with everything else. Like, OKC is
we'll
definitely
talk about it.
one.
We'll talk about it. I mean, I don't want to foreshadow, but we
Latif,
can talk about.
Latif made a comment today about it. So
I mean, we'll talk about what I have the Thunder as arguably the favorite. They're definitely in the conversation for favorites in the West right now. What they did, but anyways, just speaking on this Klay move, yeah, they obviously needed shooting. The starter shot 17% from three on open shots in the finals. They clearly needed shooting, and so this is an upgrade, especially from having Derrick Jones Jr. in the corner. You have Klay Thompson in the corner, or Klay Thompson at the brother break three. So that's going to work. He's not a great defender anymore, but he can still guard 3 and 4s. His problem is he can't really guard guards, and so having a Luka, Kyrie, Klay starting lineup with PJ Washington and Derek Lively, the perimeter defense might be a little worse. But they also got Najee Marshall who's going to come in and be a good perimeter defender and knock down threes. And he's a connected piece playmaking as well. And he's also a better ball handler than Derrick Jones Jr. So from that point, they got better. Like there's no question. The Dallas Mavericks got better this free agency. We're gonna talk about winners. They're one of the winners of free agency. Dallas Mavericks got better. Does it push them over the Celtics? Do I think it's going to change the series? Not much. The Celtics did a great job of taking away the corner threes from the Dallas Mavericks. They not only were they not hitting them, they just were on a lot lower volume than what they were getting in previous rounds. They also took away the lobs. So I don't think Klay Thompson necessarily changed the series too much. I probably would have still had it in 5, maybe 6. But yeah, I also think that they're going to have to adapt their I think this move signals they're going to have to adapt their offense a little bit because Klay Thompson is great at corner threes and, catch and shoot threes, but he's also a great movement shooter, and he has been for his whole entire career. So they're going to have to add a little bit more action off the ball. At some points in the season, and especially in the playoffs and in the finals, the offense did get stagnant, and it was just Luka pick and roll, Kyrie pick and roll with not a lot of action. So they got to add more of that to, maximize Klay Thompson. But, yeah, this makes them better for sure. And I think they're probably a top 2, top 3 favorite right now in the West for sure. And they could definitely go back to the finals. When you make the finals this year and then you add Quentin Grimes, who's an underrated signing, underrated trade. You add Quentin Grimes, you add Najee Marshall, you add Klay Thompson. Those are 3 basically upgrades. Because I think Quentin Grimes next year could definitely be better than Tim Hardaway Jr. So Mavericks did a great job. I forgot bro name. What's their GM name? Nico Harrison. Something. Nico Harrison. Yeah, great job from him. He's been killing it ever since he got there. So yeah, great job. Not like when we say move me or something like that, like does it make them overwhelming favorites? No, because OKC got better. But it definitely got better in this free agency period for sure.
I forgot to say Quentin Grimes. I'm a big Quentin Grimes fan. I think that's a good move.
I am too.
I really don't care for Buddy.
For Grimes?
If he gets back to his 2022, 2023 self where he actually played great defense and actually shot the ball well, this could be a good pickup for them off the bench for sure. They need more. They got better defenders. Last year was a now year.
Oh, Q, did you have anything?
No. I said mine's in between. I like the move. I think based off what we saw, even if you think OKC got much better, I don't think they got much better that you could just say they're better than the Mavericks, even as if the Mavericks just handled them. And they also got better too at 3 significant spots. So I still think if we're going to say somebody leading the pack, I think we go with the Mavs. But I mean, whatever, to each his own.
Alrighty. Okay, so in other news, Isaiah Hartenstein signs with.
Wait, I have a would you rather for Klay all time.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm trying to get the list together right now. I'm picking his last name. All right. We're going to do a would you rather all time for Klay Thompson. First name up is Manu Ginobili.
Klay Thompson.
Klay.
Better shooter, better defender. And for all it's worth, Mono's a bench player.
Klay.
Klay? Okay, cool. Yeah. Next name up is Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Yeah, you give me Ray Allen. I think shooting is people probably gonna go Klay, but I think it's pretty close. In terms of ability, Ray Allen. If you had to put the ball on the floor, give me Ray Allen. Defending, I mean, you get a slight edge to Klay, but
which Ray Allen are we getting though? That's the big question. Like, are we getting like
it's all T?
Early Ray Allen, like
you got Slasher. That's Slasher Ray Allen.
Clears whatever Klay ever did. Like clears.
Like Ray didn't have the shooting early in his career, but he was slashing and getting to the basket better than Klay ever could. So
early Ray Allen clears. So like that, that'd give me the complete edge.
I'm biased. I love Ray Allen, so
I'm taking Ray Allen just off of versatility.
I'm gonna go Ray Allen too because I think early in his career when he was like on the Supersonics, individually he was a better player. And also when he got
his Bucks was peak.
On the Bucks, he went. George Karl was the reason why they didn't go to the finals for real.
Yeah. Next name up is Joe Dumars.
It's Klay Thompson.
I love Joe Dumars, but Klay's got the shooting upside. They're both like Dumars is a great defender. Klay's a good defender, great defender at his peak. I think the shooting though really helps. Obviously, Klay's a much better shooter, so I'll take that as a whole. I'll take Klay.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, Finals MVP and all that, but yeah, it's Klay. Not, but like it's not like super.
I think it's close. I think it's close.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's Klay. It could be close. It's Klay though.
I was gonna say like the 1-2 punch from Steph and Klay was like overwhelming, but I'm pretty sure Isaiah Thomas and Dumars were like crazy bouncing off of each other. Holy. Oh my god.
That was ridiculous, bro. That was ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Dumars.
Joe Dumars. I'm gonna get a slight edge to Joe Dumars too. I'm agree with you, Jaden. I'm gonna get a slight edge to Joe Dumars. Klay Thompson you think Klay Thompson's a better defender than Joe Dumars? I don't know. He probably has more positional versatility.
It's real close, but on the offensive end, you go Klay.
I agree. I think Dumars is a better defender. I think Klay's shooting ability, like I said, is the reason I'm pushing
him. Next name up is Reggie Miller.
It's Klay. Reggie Miller is not that good. I'm not gonna lie. He's not all that.
I'm agreeing with Reggie Miller as well. Yeah, I think individually, bro, he as a primary option, he took players teams way further than I think Klay would have been as a number one option.
I don't think Klay's taking his team to the finals as a number one option.
Reggie Miller did not take that Patriots team to the finals. That's not what happened.
Reggie Miller is also a player.
He was the best player on that team.
Well.
Oh, right.
You think Jermaine O'Neal?
No. Jalen Rose literally was the best player on that team. Reggie Miller ain't take that team to the finals. Like that no.
I don't even think Jermaine O'Neal was on that team. Never mind.
Yeah, he had a couple moments in the playoffs, Knicks battles and whatnot. Okay. They ain't really do much. On paper, it's Klay. Numbers, give me Klay. I'm just Klay. I'm cool off the Reggie Miller lore.
No. I don't think it's wait, did he average well, this is 1 year. I'm tripping. But no, I'm gonna take Reggie Miller because I think individually, like if you need somebody to be the, number one option on your team, he's gonna definitely take you further. I also think as a secondary option or a third option, he can also do a lot of stuff for you because of his off the ball shooting. He was also, pretty much ahead of the time. I do think Klay is a better defender though. But as a primary option, I would rather have Reggie Miller. All right. Did everybody get the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Last name is Peja Stojakovic.
I'm taking Klay over
Klay.
Peja, I think.
I'm taking Klay as well because of the defensive end. He's one of the best. I think Klay might be the best 3D. Klay might be the best 3-and-D player ever. I saw someone tweet that, and I think that has some
Scotty?
validity.
Scotty
3-and-D.
is not a 3-and-D
Scotty
player.
wasn't
Scotty was shooting defensively, he was like far better.
Yeah, but he don't got
Scotty's
the
not a
3.
3-and-D player, bro.
Scotty could shoot
You
though,
need,
but I
He
just it
stole
wasn't
those
like at the
defensively.
volume. It wasn't at the volume of Klay like at all, or
Scotty
even
was
like
able to
you have
shoot
that.
like 3 years ever
comparable to this
for like
era.
2 attempts.
Yeah,
Yeah, he don't got the 3.
At Scotty's
Three
peak,
part.
he shot a whopping 37%.
Yeah, Klay might be
Yeah.
actually the best 3-D player ever.
the volume wasn't.
Yeah, I'll take
near-
Klay over. I'll take Klay over Peja.
Did y'all take Klay or Manu Ginobili? I forgot.
Klay.
But,
Klay.
Okay.
all right, let's get into. I should have this pulled up.
Isaiah Hartenstein signing with OKC.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein signs with OKC. I'm gonna pass it off to you, Max, right after I go because it's not that much. I like this move, especially for Chet. I think that Chet is like a great rim protector, but just like his size alone is kind of what I don't want to say hinders.
Wait,
him.
what did you just say? What did you just say?
Why are you screaming?
No, I didn't. Cause did you just say Chet is not a great rim protector, or am I tripping?
You're tripping.
Didn't hear.
Okay.
I said Chet is
okay.
a great rim protector, buddy.
Okay,
Bro,
okay.
feeling
My
to tell
bad.
somebody he wrong.
My bad. I thought I just misheard you.
Anyways, like I said, oh my gosh, now I can't even remember where I was. Chet is a great rim protector, but I think size alone kind of hinders him. You add Hartenstein, who's just a way bigger guy, and also I don't think that Chet will benefit off of putting size on. I think Wemby and him are just their game stylistically, it just wouldn't fit for him. So getting Hartenstein, somebody who's a good connective playmaker, works for a team that doesn't have a lot of playmaking. On the defensive front, it works. I know, Latif, that you were talking about him hitting threes in a corner in years past.
It was kind of troll, but who knows?
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't really move me because I haven't seen it in a while. But I like it for Chet mostly, and they added much needed size and something that they needed. I don't want this to sound wrong because I think Chet is a better rebounder. Even though just like size, I don't think.
And who? Hartenstein?
Let me finish. I think that Chet is a better rebounder, but I think that I could see Chet being like a Jaren Jackson type of role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. He'll be like in a Jaren Jackson type of roaming, type of rim protecting type of thing, and I like it next to a bigger guy, so that works.
It's not a bad take at all. I thought you were going to say he's a better rebounder than Isaiah Hartenstein. You do, but
No.
Go ahead, man.
It's a lot of money, and I hope and think that it'll be well worth it. The shooting aspect, joke or not, we do have Chip, who is a very good shooting coach who has developed with people. Yeah. So I think that with our draftees, and with Isaiah, I think he'll have his work cut out for him as far as shooting the basketball, and trying to develop people's shots. Like 29 mil is a lot. Like I said this in the group chat. If you would have told me Isaiah Hartenstein 2-3 years ago was going to be a $30 million a year player, I would not have believed that at all. Especially going to my team at 30 mil. But the big thing that we need is rebounding. We need more size out there. The shooting, it's not necessary, but it will be very, very helpful if he could develop that. My biggest question, though, is just what our starting lineup will actually look like. I see a lot of stuff from Thunder fan pages, whatever, who want to start Ludor at the 5, at the 4, sorry. Who want to start Chet at the 4 and Hartenstein at the 5. Well, I'm curious to see what Mark ends up rolling out for the majority of the season. We got We got him for 3 years. We have to figure out what's going to happen in 3 years. It still just relies on development because right now I think we got like $8 million left. We can't make a whole lot more moves unless we trade pieces. That's taken up a lot of our cap right there, and we'll still have to re-sign or give Chet and J-Dub the max extension. So Isaiah Hartenstein as a whole, I'm very optimistic with this. I think that it will fix some of the problems we had in the Dallas series as far as rebounding, as far as paint defense. I really think that I hope this is solving everything. But shooting, and if Isaiah Hartenstein can keep that jump shot up, I think this move would look a lot better.
Yeah, that was kind of troll. He's probably not gonna shoot. I mean, that would be like a crazy development from him in the offseason. I don't know, Max. I think you should be a lot more excited as a Thunder fan.
It's just like you look at other guys getting $30 million a year, and it's just I don't know. I'm just very very hesitant right now. It was the same thing with Chet though. Chet was this flashing green light. Oh, it's going to be this great thing. I was still hesitant with it. So I'm just hesitant with it because I've seen this all before. I've seen all this before of OKC having a promising young team and putting more pieces around him, and then it flops. So
I think this is Sam Presti's best job actually for me building a contender. He did not do this. He did not do this for KD. He did not do this for KD. He did not do this
because he made the wrong trade with Harden. He made the wrong trade with Harden.
He also just when they after that he just didn't add complementary pieces to the
Deion
team.
Waiters. You got Deion Waiters.
Come on, bro. He was out there giving him out there having him. What's the bro name?
Ennis Cantor and Andre Roberson should not be on nobody's playoff basketball court. Ever.
I understand. Like Roberson cannot get jump shots. Roberson cannot shoot anything. He couldn't shoot anything. He just defends from time to time.
He doing more for John Core and Shea than he ever did for Kevin Durant. That's a
agreed.
fact.
Agreed. I just
they actively went against Kevin Durant every chance they got. Like they never ever for the best player in their franchise ever was in his corner for nothing. Like for nothing ever. Like it just never happened. Not with Scott Brooks, not with Sam Presti. Never. It just never happened. It was like, oh, you good. Just deal with it. You got it. And just that's what it is. They never did this.
For me, I think this move arguably makes OKC the favorites out the West to make the finals because it's not only the Isaiah Hartenstein move. They also added Alex Caruso, an all-league defender who shot 40% from three. I know it wasn't on crazy amount of attempts, but it was like 4 or 5 games. When you replace Josh Giddey with Alex Caruso, and you replace Jalen Williams, who was the backup big for Isaiah Hartenstein, that is a major improvement. They really moved the needle for me this offseason. Their biggest issue was rebounding and protecting the paint, size, all that stuff. They addressed it with Isaiah Hartenstein. They had an issue with shooting with Josh Giddey on the court. What they do, they went to go get Alex Caruso. That tandem, they're going to have one of the best defenses in the NBA, if not the best defense. I could completely see them having the best defense in the NBA. They also, if you move Lou Dort to the bench, you have a great bench, a great bench unit with Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, and Isaiah Joe off the bench, and Jalen Williams as a backup. The only concern is they're going to have to get pretty Case and Wallace as well. You're right. They will have to change this offense a tad bit because they run a 5-out system, and as of right now, Hartenstein can't shoot, so they're gonna have to adapt that a little bit. I think Shea's gonna have to become a better playmaker. He's gonna have to become better off the ball. J-Dub's gonna have to become better off the ball and a better playmaker. A lot of them is gonna have to be internal growth with this team for this system to actually work. And also, I think Mark is also gonna have to change the system a little bit. It can't be super heliocentric like it was last year, where it was just Shea creating for their whole team and inspire shooting. Because one, the Thunder don't have enough versatile and valuable shooters on the team for that to work, and Shea's not the best playmaker as well, so that was never going to work either. So I love this move. I think it makes them probably my favorite to come out the West, considering Denver lost KCP and they also lost Bruce Brown last year. They got a lot for me. They took a step back. Not a lot worse. They're still gonna be a great team because Jokic is so great. But for me, they took a step back. OKC took a major step up, and right now they're my favorites to make it out the West. I think it is. Yeah,
the move cool. I mean, they addressed, one of the two major needs. They still need, better playmaking, whether that's coming from somebody else or, like he said, internal growth. I think it's easier to just bring in a better playmaker because asking, Shea to do something that he hasn't been doing basically his whole career right now for like a championship push is kind of like pressing the needle on something that and it's most likely won't happen. Obviously the offense got to change. It's gonna might be bumpy for a little bit. So the first half of the season, you probably just gonna have to rely on like straight hustle and skill. But I mean, once playoff time, it's about matchups. Hopefully they get a good matchup. They probably could at least get as far as they got last year. I don't know about making the Western Conference Finals because I still think there's like 2 teams better than them right now. I mean, it's a start.
What 2 teams would that be?
The Timberwolves and the Mavericks.
Timberwolves and the Mavericks. I think so. I would have the Timberwolves. Honestly, because of Denver took that step down, they also lost this year in the second round. I think they all in that same bubble. I think the Timberwolves, Mavericks, Nuggets, and Thunder are all in that same bubble right now for me. Atop the Western Conference for sure. How they match up with the
Mavs in that bubble?
You think the Mavs are higher than that?
Yeah, I mean if you didn't think they were better than the Nuggets last year, they were clearly better than the two other teams, and they also got better. You could say those teams got better, but the Mavericks are already ahead, and they got better. So I'm gonna just put the Mavericks ahead of them. I mean, pretty simple logic.
I think. Well, I don't think necessarily that like the Mavericks were a marginally the better team last year than the Thunder. It was a 6-game series. I don't
think it was marginal, seeing as Kyrie didn't have a great series and Luka was hurt the whole playoffs. I don't think it's close.
Kyrie wasn't great for a reason though. It wasn't him just being off. They played great defense on him. Kaysen played great defense on him. J-Dub played great defense on him. And they also just added Alex Caruso.
And I'd bet my life if Kyrie goes in there again, he's not going to play as bad as he did. And I bet my life if Luka was more healthier than he was, it's not close.
Luka was healthy. He wasn't healthy in the Timberwolves series. We had to give some credit to Lou Dort. He played great defense. He's one of the best Luka defenders that we have in the league because of his strength. So
he did it.
We can't just Luka was injured in the Wolves series and he torched them. But as soon as he played the Thunder and he's also still injured, he struggles. And then we can't do that. He's also just on the court.
I never did that. Like I never did that.
So
you was here when I picked the Mavericks every single time, injured or not. Like,
I'm just saying. So
him being injured wasn't. I didn't use that as an excuse. I didn't say anything for anything. Like I never use that excuse. So don't say I did that. Like that's
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying when you said he wasn't healthy. If you said if Luka wasn't healthy, you said Luka was healthy. It wouldn't be close. But we just saw him. We saw Dort play great defense on him, and then in the next series, he torched a worse defender for him personally in the next round. Like that's what that was. And I also think.
And if he was healthier, he probably plays better against the better defender.
I just don't think we know that because he went against a worse defender for him.
We've been speaking on a whole bunch of hypotheticals the whole time. So why knock down my hypothetical to prove your point?
I'm not knocking down the hypothetical. I just think the logic for this hypothetical, right? He was struggle against Lou Dort.
Just because it don't make sense to you. I'm not
attributing it to health. I'm not attributing it to health, and he could also. I think he could still struggle again against a defense that just added Alex Caruso again. They matched up. The Thunder also game plan was also much better than the Timberwolves game plan defensively. And will it be harder to run that game plan this year when they have Klay Thompson? Sure. For sure, it definitely will be. But again, Lou Dort matched up better against Luka, and also they just had a better game plan. So I don't think they were like just so much better than the Thunder last year, especially since that game came down to Shea fouling at the end. And it could have went to Game 7. Then we having a whole different conversation. That series closer.
Same thing. One of those games, they missed like 20 free throws. So what are you saying?
Right.
One balances out the
that
other.
That was one of the worst free throw shooting teams the entire year. That wasn't
okay, but that game was much worse. So
it was
that fouling at the end cancels out the 35,000 missed free throws. So you really not saying much.
And so that's still a close series. I think that series wasn't close. It was super overblown. It wasn't like they're just like further, like these teams were just so far away from each other. I don't think so at all. And Kyrie, he may play better, but the Thunder also just are a better team now. So that's why I have them all in that same bubble. And I think it's gonna be another tough West. But the top four is clearly the top four for sure. And I can see any one of those teams going to the finals next year.
Okay. All right. We're doing free agents, winners and losers.
Yep. So far.
Yeah. So
it's pretty much over.
It's only day 2, but I'll start. Winners for me, I'll go ahead and say the Magic. They get KCP, addressed much needed shooting. Defensively, I'd say that they got better, and they're a great defensive team. Adding KCP, somebody who can shoot, somebody who can defend. You get back Gary Harris. I know his shooting was a little bit down this year, but still is somebody who's a good shooter. So, and also I'm expecting Paolo to develop his first playoff series. It was pretty. It started. I don't even want to say it started off shaky. He was pretty good in his first playoff series. So I think it's gonna be gradual improvement. I like the direction of the Magic defensively. I think they're pretty good now. They address their shooting. So Magic are a team that is going to be on the up. Losers, I want to go with somebody.
I want to say, Jaden, I agree with you. I would add on to that they also bought Goga back too. They re-signed him as well, so that was another part of them winning. And they did adjust their shooting, but I still think like a Suggs, KCP, Franz, Paolo, Wendell Carter Jr. lineup is still like nasty offensively. I think, like, of course, the KCP helps with their shooting, but I think that's still going to be nasty offensively for me personally. They need some more perimeter creation.
I also like it because it also adds experience. Like, it's such a young team, and like you got KCP, he's got 2 rings. Gary Harris like a vet, but he hasn't really competed in those big games yet. So KCP's got those 2 championships. He's got that playoff experience. Like, I think that helps a lot too for a young team.
I'm trying to think of some losers, bro.
I think should I just point 2 obvious ones out that I think we all might think are losers, at least right now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Is it fair to say Denver and LA, right, and the Lakers right now are losers?
Denver and LA lost for free agency.
Yeah, I think those are like the easier ones, but I was trying to think of a different.
I got a weird one. This is I don't know. It's because they didn't do anything. I think that Dallas and Philly both won. I think Dallas and Philly both won. I think Dallas did what they had to do. They stayed where they were. And what Latif said earlier, Philly improved the only way they could, right? Philly improved by not giving up much. I like the Oubre re-signing. We'll talk about it later, but I like getting Kelly Oubre back. You get Eric Gordon, you get Andre Drummond. Like, you really improved all you could to compete as much as you can. My one weird loser is the Cavs. Everyone else in the East seems to get better, and the Cavs just didn't do anything. Like, I feel like the Cavs could have snuck up there a little bit. They could have been a little bit better if Philly didn't do anything or if New York didn't do anything, and they just sat and have done nothing. And I think that they kind of sunk down. Orlando did more moves than them. Could Orlando
What are we
supposed
to be doing? What are we supposed to be doing? Like, do we
I
have
don't know.
cap
Every
space?
other
I don't think we
team's
had cap
improving their
space.
margins. Huh?
What cap space do we have? And we also are getting back Donovan Mitchell. So, I mean,
you can say, I'm just saying, like, you guys didn't do anything, and like I think other teams in the East are getting better, and you guys didn't do anything. So I'm not sitting here like, wow, I love your positioning. You're obviously you're in my opinion, you're clearly not a top 4 seed. I don't think you're top 4.
Okay.
Indiana just made the Eastern Conference Finals, so do with that what you want. Orlando improved, so do with that what you want. So you're fighting with that Indiana Orlando combo.
I don't think the Pacers are better than the Cavs, and I mean, I know it's not like a free agency move, but I will still predict. I don't think Brandon Ingram is going anywhere. That's my hot take, but I would predict that the Cavs will be at the forefront if there was any type of Brandon Ingram trade. So I mean, and like T said, I wasn't even really expecting free agency.
We don't have any cap space. Like what?
I'm
I just looked.
I'm just trying, like, in my opinion, with every
How are
other
we
thing
gonna
that
win free
happened,
agency
you
with no
guys
cap
lost
space?
a little, huh?
You could
How
do
are we
things in
gonna
the off season without having cap space.
Thank
You
you.
know, you can make a trade. That's possible. That's a thing.
You got
Yeah,
Garland.
they can, but like on the first few days of free agency, did you expect the Cavaliers to do like literally anything?
I didn't expect every other team that they're contending with to do something.
Why? They have money to make it easy, way easier for them to do it.
But there's
Of course,
6
they were going to do something.
teams. There's 6 teams who are all in the running with them that all did more moves than them, improved on their faults than they did.
I personally think the Cavs are probably going to be like the 5th seed next year, 5th or 6th, maybe.
Maybe.
It's a top 4.
Their issues are their issues, and they haven't done anything to fix that. They got a new head coach, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Well, are we counting all off season stuff? They had a good draft.
Not doing something. Not doing something is doing something. Like
we've been counting off season moves. It's just off season.
We talking about free agency winners and losers right now, though. That's what I was saying. But
PG's
I
a
want to
free
say
agency.
the Cavs are a loser.
PG's a free agency move. KCP, Goga free agency moves. All the Knicks moves, kind of free agency moves, just early free agency moves.
My winners, I think y'all all said all of them. What we have, the Thunder, Mavericks, Magic, Sixers was all said, right? Did anybody say the Thunder? Where Thunder clearly.
No, Thunder. I mean, again, but yes, the Thunder are winners, but it's just the Hartenstein deal.
Yeah, no, it's the Hartenstein deal. They also retain Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins on good deals. That's definitely a win. Yeah, they probably had one of the bigger needle moving moves of the free agency so far. My loser was the Miami Heat. They did absolutely nothing. They have done absolutely nothing for a long time. And they actually had avenues.
Wait.
No.
You see what happens?
They had actual avenues. They also lost Delon Wright. They lost. They might be losing Hayward Highsmith as well, I believe.
They got Kevin Love back. At least they made a move.
Kevin Love, bro. Like
they at least made one move.
They re-signed their own players. They re-signed their own players.
Kevin Love is
literally 30 seconds ago spent that same thing.
But those are two more impactful players that you don't want to lose than Kevin Love. That's Miami and Cleveland, and Miami and Cleveland, and Miami and the Thunder are two different situations because the Cavs again had less avenues than even Miami did to improve this offseason. As well, they are going to re-sign Donovan Mitchell, so that is a part of free agency, and that's a win.
If anything, part of free agency.
Yes, and you're talking about Kevin Love, and Kevin Love, Donovan Mitchell is completely different. But let's be serious right now. So you telling me that the Cavs are losing when they were in jeopardy of losing their biggest player on their team, and they're keeping him, and that's a loss? Like what are we doing right now?
They're doing what you should do. They did not improve.
So bro, but you don't have to improve to just be a loser. I'm talking about the Heat are losing players. They also are not improving. Like what are we doing?
Losing player. They just lost a lot.
They might be losing.
Might be.
Yeah,
they might.
It looks like they're going to be losing Hayward Highsmith as well because he has an okay market out there. Some people use him. So
maybe Trae Young to the Heat. Maybe Trae Young to the Heat.
No, bro. Also, Jimmy Butler has not signed an extension. Another L. What are we doing? That's so many L's for the Heat.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't
not re-signing Jimmy is not a L. Yeah, giving him all that money to be 38 and not play games is that's a smart move.
Because where are we going with this then? If they tried their sign extension, they couldn't agree with something. I think that's a loss for the franchise. That you might possibly lose your player.
That's a smart Pat Riley move not to give all that money to an agent star that doesn't play a lot of games.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But if you're losing the player you signed in 2019, it's been 5 years from now. The center of your franchise right now, probably in a year you're not re-signing him. I think that's a loss a negative for the franchise. Of course, they might save some money and they might not overpay him, but just losing him, I don't know. They might have to trade him next year. I don't know, but not being off. Not.
So you graded it off a hypothetical.
No, I'm saying not being on the same page. Not getting a extension done with your franchise player. I think that is a negative. So all that combination is a Heat. That's an L. And
it's
also
not a negative if it betters the organization, and it's a smart move not to sign him to that
Are we
bread.
saying this? Are we saying it's gonna? Are we really think it's gonna better organization?
I'm not defending Miami. I'm just saying I don't think Cleveland.
It's not Cleveland. It's not. That's not, bro. How is it similar to Cleveland though? Please explain to me.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying the way that you brought it up. You said that Miami was losers because they haven't made moves, and then you proceeded to say, "How can?"
Okay, and they also lost players, and they also lost players. And they have more cap space in the Cavs.
All right, so Boston. So that based off that, Boston is clear winners then, because they re-signed they re-signed a top 10 player, and they re-signed Derek White. So why are they not winners?
Did I say the Cavs are winners?
No, but you said not
that they're
not
losers.
You said
you don't have to.
Your franchise player.
You don't have to be a winner or a loser. You don't. That's a good thing. That's a win, yes, but they don't mean they're winners.
Right,
I never said they're winners.
Whatever.
Did I say that one time?
No, but you're pointing out.
I didn't.
First of all, you were saying it's a big move that you're re-signing. It's a good thing.
No, I said it's a good thing. Yes.
Yeah,
so I feel like you were in danger of losing him. That's definitely a lot.
I get what you're saying. If you win a title and you re-sign 2 of the 3 most important pieces of winning that title, Kristaps Porzingis, I get it, but he was injured. That's got to be a win. If that you just re-signed 2 huge players.
I never said the Cavs are winners. I just said they were.
No one's saying you are. We're just saying that there's too big. It's a good move. If you do that good move times 2, it's a pretty good.
It's a good move.
What?
You think it's a good move? Like it was expected of them. You think it's a good move to re-sign Jason Tatum? And,
I thought it was expected that they got Donovan Mitchell back. You can go back, and I've been saying this since the end of the year.
They were in danger. They were in danger of losing him the entire season. And
entire season. What are we talking about? The offseason. You can go back and look at this. I've said that he would resign.
It wasn't. That wasn't like the general consensus until like a week or 2 ago. What do you mean?
I guess you can go back. You can go back and look at.
Everybody knew Jason Tatum was getting his money so long ago. So long ago.
Everybody knew Cleveland was going to offer Donovan Mitchell the extension.
They didn't know he was going to accept it. It was so much doubt around if he was going to stay or not. What are we talking about? That's completely different.
I thought he would accept it.
You're one person, Max. You're one person. So I don't agree with Cleveland.
Yeah, everybody leaving a $200 million on the table. Nobody's just leaving $200 million on the table. They're gonna take the bread, and if they want out, they're just gonna ask for a trade. That's what's been going on in the past like 8 years. I don't know where you've been, but that's just been a thing.
Was it not speculation that Donovan Mitchell would request a trade if this offseason? Was that not a thing?
Yes, there was a little bit, but I was not thinking that. All right, let's go to the next one because obviously you don't agree with the Cavs.
Go to the next one.
Yeah, I mean it.
Jaden, let's go to our superlatives.
All right. Is this your trivia thing?
No. Superlatives. You want me to go through it? You want me to run through it, or do you want to?
Oh no. You got it.
All right. So we're gonna pick our superlatives for free agency. First up, which move will make the highest impact this upcoming season?
I think it's PG to the Sixers.
Okay. I went with Klay to the Mavericks.
I was gonna do PG to the Sixers. I don't have it written down because I knew people were gonna say that. I'm gonna say Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with.
My reasoning with Klay is I think PG is obviously gonna make has the most potential to make a lot of noise, but I don't think they beat Boston. I think Klay could take this or help take this team back to the finals. And I think that obviously makes a lot of impact if they have a chance to compete with Boston again. Next up, we have our sleeper moves.
Wait. Do you think that Klay will be have the most impact though on them making it back to the finals, or
no? I think that them making it back to the finals, like look back at it and say like, damn, that Klay move was very. You know what I mean? I don't think PG's gonna. I don't think the Sixers are gonna do much if the Mavs get back to the finals and win a couple more games or win the finals as a whole. Obviously, I think it's the more impactful move because it pushes them over the top. What is the biggest sleeper move of the offseason? I'll go first. My first one, I feel like, is not really even a sleeper. It's just KCP. It's obviously good. Second up, I did go with DeLon Wright. I think that defensively, he could help out a lot in that backcourt if they don't resign Pat Bev. He's got experience, obviously. That's the one issue is their team is so old, and they just keep getting older, it seems like. But I think he could have some defensive presence in the backcourt.
Yeah, I had the same with DeLon Wright for the same exact reasons.
My sleeper move was Jalen Smith to the Bulls. They need to get younger, and they could potentially start him next season. He shot like 40% from three, as a good rim protector. Now, granted, it was in the offense with Tyrese Halliburton, and we know what Rick Carlisle's juice offense looks like. So I don't know if it would translate, but to get that prospect for $11 million and see what he can do, I like the move for the Bulls. Was one of the actual positive things they did this offseason. So that was Jalen Smith for me.
Jaden, you go next, but I also want to know what you think of Jalen Smith, if you even care about it at all as the Bulls fan.
I don't even really care about it. I don't really know. I don't even know really too much about him to even.
He had good minutes in Indiana when he was a good backup for Miles Turner.
He was a pretty good player into the playoffs against that series against who was it? The Bucks. He played bad.
He didn't do anything against the Pelicans. I don't even remember seeing him out there. I really just remember all the Pelicans matchups. I don't really know too much about him to speak on him. So like I'm not.
Who's your biggest sleeper then?
Sleeper. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty. I'm gonna agree with you, Max. I don't think it's a sleeper, but I feel like it's lesser than just like Paul George and Klay. So I'll probably say KCP to the Magic.
I think it definitely moves me. So, what is the biggest overpay of the offseason?
I'll go first.
What'd
you say?
No, go ahead, Jaden.
What'd you say, Q?
I said 5 first-round picks from Mikal Bridges.
It's fine.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go same team. OG. Like still, it makes no sense. I don't even think they should have paid him. Honestly, you get Mikal, who's literally like the same person, just better. Like I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. And like you had I feel like OG in this particular climate right now, OG for your team, OG or Hartenstein. Well, you already have Mikal. I say you go Hartenstein, and then you pay OG $200 million. Like it's just nasty. Yeah, I don't agree with it. But to each his own.
I don't think that's a bad pick or anything. He definitely got overpaid. But for my list, I was just trying to. I already know what a lot of the answers were going to be. I was trying to be a little bit different, which I think some of these still qualify. My worst overpay of the offseason or a free agency or whatever, Emmanuel Quickly, $35 million for him was ridiculous. $175 million over 5 years. I don't really know how much upside he has as a player in this league. And I don't know what the direction is because the Raptors are probably going to continue to be they're going to be bad this year probably, but I think with this quarter they're building around, they're going to be paying over $100 million to RJ, Scotty, and Emmanuel Quickly. Overpay. And I think they might just be mid.
I don't go ahead. I don't think. I mean, I
$35 million. You think Emmanuel Quickly's worth $35 million?
I don't think he's worth $35 million, but I mean, I feel like he's the same type of player as a Kobe White, a Tyrese Maxey. I mean, Tyrese Maxey
he's worse than both of them. He's worse than both of them.
They're both better now, but we just saw Kobe White break out.
You're saying in a specific role, you think Quickly can break out like that?
Yeah, I mean, we saw them be like the same player. Like we saw them.
And Quickly is going to get that money regardless. Devin Vassell got the same money, and they had the same exact year. They always going to get that same $35 million contract.
I don't think he's going to break out like that, though, with RJ and Scotty both in the backcourt, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to hold him back. I feel like part of the reason that Kobe broke out was you would succeed in a place without Zach LaVine and stuff.
I'm not that on his upside. Emmanuel was
that move.
Whether it was the Knicks or the Raptors, it was always going to be overpaid for Emmanuel Quickly. It was always going to be overpaid. He's not. I don't think he's worth $35 million. We just seen Malik Monk obviously took a pay cut. But even if he was on the open market, I just don't know if he's going to get $35 million. And I think again, Malik Monk is better than him. So yeah, just overpay. And I don't know what direction they're really going because they supposed to be like tanking. I guess next hopefully next year they tank, but they paying these players this money, a lot of money tied up into Scotty, RJ, and Emmanuel Quickly. I also think that Scotty contract was overpaid too. Me personally, just because of what I think of him as a player.
I like Scotty.
Like it's not like any egregious or nothing like that, but I just don't think he's going to be like the number one option on the team. Or, yeah, I don't think he's like going to be franchise changing.
I was originally just thinking about moves today, so I put Obi Toppin for right now.
Overpay?
I didn't really have any overpays, but when thinking about re-signing people,
$15 million for.
But you didn't wait. They just threw out the offer. You could have waited a little bit. I feel like I don't know, but as far as re-signing people, yes, OG and Quickly I think are both big overpays in my opinion. I agree with both you guys on those. And then last up, best value. I'm gonna go first. It's Kelly Oubre Jr. in my opinion. Getting Kelly Oubre on a 2-year, $16 million deal. They need anybody. After giving 4 or 3 players $200 million, you need to fill out that roster. Kelly Oubre at times with Joel Embiid out was the best player on the court for the Sixers in some moments. Kelly Oubre had some very, very bright spots. You can laugh all you want. There were some games where Kelly Oubre was backpacking people, hitting threes, and playing very well. It wasn't every game.
He was backpacking?
He was
You
playing
don't have
pretty
to
well.
defend yourself. Kelly Oubre had a great year, and he could have easily got what Obi
He was
Toppin would
averaging
have got.
15 points a game, and again,
he liked Nick Nurse, and he signed back for less bread. That was a great value. He could have got way more than that.
I honestly think that, like,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
In a lesser role, he's going to shoot the ball. I think he'll get obviously less coverage on defense. He still shot the ball well from 3. He can be a slasher. He can defend sometimes. Like I do think this is a player in the future. This is a PJ Washington. This is a Derrick Jones Jr. type move where they can elevate in the playoffs. I think, depending on matchups. I think if you focus all your stuff on their 3 stars, I think Kelly Oubre could still beat you. So I think this move is very, very good for Philly.
I think that's a good take. I had the best value contract Malik Monk. Taking a pay cut, less than $20 million over the course of 4 years. Definitely, I think the best contract out of free agency so far because of what he's going to be able to bring to the team and at the price you got him. Because losing him would have been a big blow to what the Kings did. So our best value contract, Malik Monk.
Cute, Jaden.
Nah, it was Kelly Oubre, but you already had ran it down.
I'm trying to look at these contracts. That's not my thing.
To be honest, you could just say Najee Marshall. I still think that was a good deal, though.
I mean, Najee Marshall is a good deal, but
I don't. Do you think he should have got more than that?
He could have.
I don't know if Derrick Jones Jr. If you're saying he replaces Derrick Jones Jr. straight up and he got 3 years 30, 3 years 27, like comparable,
so
obviously.
$1 more million.
Yeah, I guess I'll say Najee. I mean, Najee is like a perfect piece to like a winning team. I mean, replacing Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, I feel like he's fit. He steps up into a role well. Like Latif highlighted. That's what I was gonna say too. Very underrated, connective playmaker too, alongside his defensive prowess as well. So I guess
he's just a better ball handler. He's a better ball handler too, bro. Like,
yeah, with the ball in his hands, he's better.
All right. Last up, we have a little bit of trivia. I need you guys to blind rank these free agency classes. So I'm gonna give you a summer, and you have to tell me which free agency class was the best. And obviously, this is not going to be people who just moved teams. If they re-signed as well, it's all in the same summer. Okay. First off, we have 2019, headlined by Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie, and Kawhi.
And Kemba Walker.
I would say at 2 at the worst. 2 at the worst. Unless he got like 2010 on here. He probably might have 2010 on here. Wasn't that year like LeBron moved, Carmelo moved?
Carmelo didn't move 2010. Carmelo was never free agent.
Yeah, he got
traded. He got traded. Yeah.
As far as like, I think as far as like people, because again, there are people who re-signed on this list, and I counted that all in here. This one might be the most interesting as far as like the top 5-6 guys all went to different teams for the most part.
I would say 2.
It's 2.
I'd agree with 2.
2. All right. Next up, we have 2009. This one was pretty deep looking back into it. You got guys like Lamar Odom, Ben Gordon, Hedo Turkoglu, Sean Marion, Carlos Boozer, and Jason Kidd.
Cool 4.
I would agree.
4?
Yeah. Jason Kidd was old as shit, wasn't he?
You had some good role players in that though.
Yeah, 4 or
4.
5.
All right.
4.
3, you have
That's
2016. 2016 had
That's number
Bron,
one.
had KD, had
That's
Al
number one.
Horford, DeMar DeRozan, and Dwayne Wade.
It's number one.
Yeah, just
you
off the
said who?
strength of LeBron and KD, I feel like
Bron, KD, Horford, DeMar, and Dwayne Wade. More guys. I think Kyle Lowry was up there too.
It's
You
this.
said
This number one.
2016.
2016.
LeBron?
Bron resigned. Bron resigned.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
But again, I'm still counting that in here. Ooh, I'm still counting that in here.
I'll go one.
yeah,
So
and
just
KD,
KD
moving
is
to Warren
literally
was,
one.
like, the biggest move like damn near ever.
All right. Well, I can think of a bigger move, and that is 2010, where Bron, Wade, Bosch, Dirk, Amari Stoudemire, and Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
That
I knew he was
doesn't.
gonna be on here.
There's only 2 people that like. That's why that don't really track because only 2 people really moved.
Bron
Everybody
and
else
Bosch.
stayed.
Bron and Bosch.
Well, Amari, but
Yes.
just
I still think
Impact
it's
wise
bigger than
though,
2016. Huh?
impact wise, like that was like one of the biggest impact wise like summers ever. Like LeBron with the decision thing, that was like he got hated for it. It was a big thing.
We're not talking
at
about
the
like
time.
aura and stuff going into it. Like you have Yao
I'm not
Ming,
talking
Joe
about
Johnson,
aura.
Carlos Boozer, David Lee, Paul Pierce, Rudy Gay, Ray Allen. Like a bunch of guys were in the 2010 free agency class.
Yeah, I'm comfortable putting in 3.
All right. And last up, what you guys have 5 is 2018 with LeBron, KD again, PG, CP3, Jokic re-signed, and DeMarcus Cousins.
that
Yeah,
Jokic.
that's 5.
Yeah, Jokic don't really count. He wasn't like.
It was a rookie or whatever. But CP3 left, PG left, Bron, KD re-signed, Boogie. So just to make sure, you have at 1 the summer of 2016, at 2 the summer of 2019, at 3 the summer of 2010, 4 the summer of 2009, and 5 the summer of 2018.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. All right, that wraps up our free agency video. It's only day 2, so some more moves can happen. But if you guys haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed, all the socials are at the top. Make sure you guys do that. Yeah, appreciate all the support, and we're out.